Warning: this video, blog, or vlog could contain harsh opinions and foul language. If you do not appreciate said content or material, well, you could just fuck right off. Greetings, Internet people. RantingRamsay here. How are you all doing today? I'm not doing so badly. It's actually been a pretty good day. And what I have for you today is not a rant per se so much as just a quick update on what's going to come next. And then at the end of this, I'll tell you a little bit of a little story about something that happened to me at work that I'm still having trouble wrapping my mind around on some levels, but on other levels I totally understand it completely. But we'll get to that in a few moments. Those of you who spend any time looking at my my actual channel page have noticed at the top that for the last few weeks, 2 weeks I think, maybe a little longer than that, there's been a moderator section up there, and if any of you have actually bothered to read that, you see that it says something along the lines of, I'm coming up on 200 videos, which is actually the video after this one. The next one will be 200 videos. And what I had asked you guys all to do was to go and post questions on the moderator section about anything, and there's anything you want to ask me. And I made a couple of mentions and comments on my channel feed that I would try to answer all of these questions as honestly as possible, and as sincerely as possible. So, well, it's pretty much, it's that time. Right now, I'm really torn. Right now, part of me wants to close the questions for the moderator section as soon as I finish recording this video, because there are exactly 42 questions on the moderator section, and that number just makes me laugh my ass off. And any of you who don't understand that reference, you need to pick up a Douglas Adams book and read it every now and again. That's really all I have to say about that. So part of me really wants to shut off the moderator questions at 42. But I realize that there's probably a few of you out there who had no clue that that was going on and are going to watch this video and come up with some question that you want to ask me. So I guess I'm going to leave it active for approximately, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 more hours after this video is posted. Yeah, I know, that's not a whole hell of a long time. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the moderator posting abilities probably around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. That's Sunday the 14th of August, just in case you wind up watching this a few days after the fact or whatever. So I'm going to close that down tonight. So if you happen to have any last-minute questions you want to throw in there or anything, you better do it soon, because the whole thing is going to be locked up here in about 4 or 5 hours from now. So, sorry if you didn't get a chance to ask a question, but with 42 questions, I've got a lot of filming to do to get these answers down, and then decide exactly how many video parts it's going to wind up having to be in, depending on how long it takes me to answer 42 questions and how verbose I wind up being while answering those questions. So there you go, there you have it. The very next video that you're going to see from RantingRamsay is a Q&A 200 video upload celebration hoopla bullshit thing, because I felt like stealing ideas from every other YouTube ranter that's ever done something like that, I guess. I don't know. Criticize me if you want. I don't give a shit. I'm giving my fans what they want, and they want their questions answered. So there you go. There you have it. Now, the story that I told you I was going to tell you at the beginning of this video. I, as I've alluded to a number of times, am one of two things as it pertains to this story. Or two things, not one of two things, both things as it pertains to this story and this video. I am a manager at the place at which I work, and I am an atheist. I generally am smart enough to know not to mix these two things, being a manager and being an atheist. I keep them wholly, completely, and totally separate. on the general average, whenever my crew starts talking about religion amongst themselves, I make myself scarce. I bury myself in some piece of paperwork on the computer, or some other piece of managerial duty that the common crew has no knowledge or business of, or whatever. I just basically make it look like I'm doing something important so that they won't bother me when they get into a conversation about religion, because apparently I am the only atheist at my place of employment at the particular branch which I manage. So I'm smart enough to know this. You don't want to bring this shit into work, obviously. But there was one night in particular, and there's one employee in particular that is like the crowning glory of the fundamentalist Christians that I work with. She is a Christian, what I would call a Christian literalist. The Bible is the literal, actual Word of God. The world is only 6,000 years old, yada, 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 yada. To those of you who base your existence in the roots of science, this is absolutely and totally absurd. And those of you who have the same types of viewpoints that I have will know that it's very, very hard in these situations to hold your tongue. To just not say anything when you really just, part of you wants to just grab them and throttle them and go, how can you be so foolish, in my opinion. So, gotta be honest, I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but I let myself get dragged into one of these conversations with the fundamentalist Christian employee. And she asked me, well, why am I an atheist? And as diplomatically as possible, I said that I just simply did not see any evidence for the existence of God, and since the Christians are the one making the claim that God exists, it is the burden of proof is on them. The Christians have to prove that God exists if they're the ones that claim God exists, not the atheists who claim that God does not exist, that do not believe. So I basically said I don't really feel that there's any evidence. It just seems to me to be believing in fairy tales and fantasies, and I brought up the unicorn analogy. I said, well, what do you believe in unicorns? She says, no, they're fantasy. I said, why? There's just as much evidence that unicorns exist, that God exists. And to her response to this was that, how can you say that? Look at the world around you. Everything that you see is evidence of God's existence. And then she pulled out her Sprint Evo HTC phone and proceeded to make a text message to somebody. And I couldn't help myself. I said, is that part of everything then? She said, what? I said, that thing in your hand, is that part of everything? She said, well, no, well, man created this. And I just kind of left out. I was like, but never mind, and walked away. And that was the end of that conversation. I just couldn't take it any further than that. And I tried to forget about it. I pushed it into the back of my brain, said this is not important, this interaction can be forgotten about, it's no big deal, it doesn't have any meaning in anything because we're coming to this place to work. We're not discussing theology, we're here to work. So the next day, I go into work, and I have the same fundamentalist Christian employee and another Christian employee that are having a conversation about Christianity, and the part that I overheard was they were dogging all other religions, saying, oh yeah, the Mormons are stupid, the Muslims are stupid, and the Catholics are stupid, and that one caught my ear. I was like, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. And I broke my primary rule for the second day in a row. And I said to these people, I said, well, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean Catholicism is bullshit? Christianity and Catholicism are rooted in the exact same thing. In fact, there was really no such thing as Protestant Christianity until Martin Luther nailed his little, his note, his letter, whatever you want to call it, on the wall of the cathedral or whatever. That was pretty much the beginning of Protestant Christianity, Martin Luther's protest against the Catholic Church. They have their roots in the same place. And I brought this up. I said pretty much exactly what I just said to you people. And the fundamentalist blinked, stared at me blankly, and says, but aren't you an atheist? Well, yes, but what does that have to do with anything that I just said? She looks at me like, well, you're an atheist. You don't believe in God. like that should explain what her problem is with me having knowledge of this whole thing. So I explained it to her. I said, just because I don't believe in what these religions preach does not mean that I am unaware of what they preach, what they believe in, and what they feel about the universe and how things work in general. That would be incredibly ignorant of me, I continued, to not believe in something and spread the word that I disbelieve or whatever, spread the standpoint of logic and reason over fantasy and fallacy. It would be ignorant of me not to educate myself to that which I have rejected. You can't really truly reject something unless you understand it anyway, which is one of the reasons why I think a lot of Christians are actually Christians. They don't really understand what it is that they actually believe. If they understood the fundamentals of what they were saying and how research, science, knowledge, and so many other things directly contradict the fallacious bullshit that they are propagating, that they would understand. Oh, wow, I've been totally wasting my time with frivolous bullshit. Obviously, this is not true. It doesn't fucking happen this way. But still, my standpoint for educating myself on religions is so that I know what I'm fucking talking about when someone says, what is your problem with religion? Oh, well, let's quote some examples. And her response to that was something along the lines of, well, that's just stupid, or you have no right, or something like that. And that was another brain explosion moment where I just honestly said, okay, and walked away and continued about my duties for the day. But it was that interaction, that pair of interactions as a whole, that just really kind of made me just kind of dumbfounded that, because that's a level of what I feel is ignorance. In my opinion, ignorance. That's a level of ignorance that I have hitherto experienced only on the internet. I have never, in real life, faced a conversation like that because I follow my primary rule, and I don't generally speak about religion in public in a work environment. And so I guess maybe it's because I follow that rule that I've never had to deal with the conversations in person, that I just had to deal with, and it really just threw me off. I guess I led a sheltered existence, I guess, as an atheist hitherto. And I can expect that kind of thing more and more often as more and more people begin to reject the ideas of theology and theocracy, which is what's going on in the world right now. We can see that in statistics. So, anyway, it's just an amusing little story with no point that I decided to tack on to the end of this announcement. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So, a quick recap. You have about 2 or 3 hours at this point, or less, to post a question on my moderator section on my channel if you have a question you want me to answer in my next video upload, which is my 200th video, which is a Q&A special, yada yada yada, redundant bullshit. God damn it, I hate living in a fucking apartment complex where people, there's like free-range fucking children. Free-range children. It's the best fucking analogy I can think of. Just free-range children. People who don't really give a shit what their children are doing or how loud they're yelling or what the hell they're doing. Stop fucking breeding people. There are enough goddamn humans on the face of the planet. I'm RantingRamsay. That is all.
Hey, did you get all that, man?
Douche.